This is WFO Radio.
Hey, everybody. How you doing out there? Joe Castello with you, WFO. We've got an interview with a champion. That's right. The four-time Camping World Drag Racing Pro Stock World Champ, Erica Enders, going to be joining us just seconds from now, starting like a couple of minutes late. And that's on me. That's on me. You got to send out links and do all these great things. And, you know, every once in a while, the host doesn't do exactly his job. But I see Erica is down there getting ready in the green room. Thank goodness. And we're going to speak with Erica about the big rounds and the big races that made her a four-time champion, back-to-back 2 times. That's pretty amazing. Before we do that, though, I want to get you up to speed on the people who make it possible for me to sit around and talk to drag racers all day. These people, we love them. We really appreciate them. We're talking about our big sponsors like Total Seal Piston Rings, for instance. Matt Hartford's name will come up once or twice in this conversation. TotalSeal.com. Check them out. And they got something going on that they're helping out with called the Engine Performance Expo, January 7th through 9th. And it is going to be an online engine builder expo. You should definitely check it out if that's your area. The Total Seal podcast, Hidden Horsepower, brand new episode dropped just today for you motocross, supercross guys. Dean Baker from Joe Gibbs Racing Motocross, the feature going to be great. TotalSeal.com. Also, samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology. Start your education at full speed. But who's going to be the next generation of crew chiefs that come into the sport of machinists, of engine builders, building that horsepower? That's the question. Samtech is the answer. Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, the Dragster Adventure, frankhawley.com. I wonder if there's any champions that we might know of that went to Frank Hawley's. Yeah, you can go there too and drive dragsters for fun. Go to frankhawley.com. And my great friend Marvin Rodak, Rodak'sCoffeeandGrills.com from Fort Worth, Texas. Grilling up that coffee, baby. Hot sauces and spice rubs. He's got it all going on. Rodak's, 817-924-6821. Hang on a little later in the show. I'll tell you how to get a WFO radio face covering. But right now, it's time to bring her on. She has got more champions than any other lady racer ever. And she is Erica Enders. Erica, welcome back, champ.
Hey.
How you doing?
Hey, Joe. Good. How are you?
I'm great. I'm great. First of all, my apologies for getting my signals crossed on how I sent you the link. I fired off the email and I'm like, oh, man. And I was supposed to text it. That's me.
That's okay.
Yeah. How you doing? You look very happy, as I imagined you would after winning another championship. 4 championships. We've seen the photos, but you tell us, how does it feel?
It feels pretty great. I mean, it's kind of been a whirlwind. There's a lot that's been going on, and a handful of us got a little bit sick after Las Vegas, so we've all kind of been healing up, and now we're into deer hunting season and Thanksgiving, and it just kind of all goes by so quickly. But a really great kind of dream weekend in Las Vegas. If you would have asked me how I was feeling on Saturday night, I would have told you it is so far-fetched. The fact that we could win this championship tomorrow, qualifying in the number 12 position, just not having a good race car, and then being on the most challenging side of the ladder. I mean, all competitors are tough, but we were thoroughly stacked on the side that we were on, and just one of those deals that worked out because it was meant to, I guess.
Well, it really was. And I just keep thinking about the past 2 years. You've really been on, focused, driven, determined, all of that. And it started off early. This was an easy year to write down all the stats because we didn't have a lot of races and the season was in question. I remember we spoke early on in the season when Courtney was coming on for our happy hours and you popped on for a few. You were the points leader for a long time during the whole original shutdown, thanks to a semifinal in Pomona and then the win in Arizona. And I remember riding back from the top end on NHRA.TV, taking in that moment. And who knew at that point what was in front of us, that we were going to go through this craziness and things would not be normal. But at that point, you were the points leader and en route to a championship. And despite of all the things that happened, you were able to score.
Yeah, it was definitely an interesting year and a very challenging year for a lot of people out there, not just in the racing world. So I'm really thankful that everything kind of stayed together here. We have a really great leader in Richard Freeman, and we made some changes that we needed to make just to be sure that we were going to be able to withstand what happened to our economy and stay in business here at Elite Motorsports, and then keep all of our employees up and running so that when racing did come back, we would be thoroughly prepared. So, after we won the Phoenix event, we went on to the World Door Slammer Nationals, the inaugural event in Orlando, which you were at, and it was super fun. Jed Coughlin, my teammate, was able to win that race. And then we headed up the road to Gainesville, got parked, set up, teched, and then they said, psych, go home. So it was it was definitely kind of a crazy situation. And then at that point, nobody really knew what was going to happen. So I'm super thankful that the folks at NHRA kept fighting for us, and in each local government in the states that we raced in, that they were willing to work with us as well and be able to get some national events under our belt. So we did have to race a few events in Indy, and honestly, after the first two, I was like, holy crap, I'm not sure what's happening to me here. And we're able to go on and win the U.S. Nationals, and I really think that's kind of when things changed just a little bit for our milling performance car.
Well, 9 races on the season. You won 4 of them. That's pretty strong. We got some great friends out there saying congratulations, guys. We have celebrities like Daryl Gwynn out there saying what's up to you. We've got celebrities like Jason Logan, our mutual friend, out there saying what's up. All of these great things. And our listeners putting comments of congratulations. Daryl Gwynn says that there needs to be a movie about you because there's such a great story.
I love Daryl. He's awesome.
Yeah, he really is. And I can now say that I've seen the movie. Like, that's what was different about this year, is I had seen the movie at this point, whereas previous, all your other championships, I had never seen the movie. So this was what was different about this year.
Oh, really? So you've seen it now, so now you can make fun of Courtney and I more.
Yes. Oh, yeah. Your trip into the gravel trap at the end was so dramatic. Oh, my gosh. Can't believe they did that. But no, I've seen it. I took the time before the season started to right a wrong. It shows that you're never too old to go back and clean up some mistakes. And that was one that I had made a mistake. And I would like to thank the folks at Disney Plus for making it all possible. Chase has never seen it.
That's awesome.
Chase is out there, says he's never seen it. The Walt's out there says, what's up? And E, how you doing? And Rich says, love you, Erica, 4 times. That's very good. Marvin Rodak checking in. Erica, congratulations. You are a true champion on and off the racetrack. Sean says, I met you this year in Indy and St. Louis. Wow, this guy must be good luck. Because wherever he was, you went on to win the race. Courtney out there, we need a sequel right off track. I don't know if that's the name, but I am advocating for a sequel from the mouse, like Dear Mickey Mouse. We need a sequel because you've gone on 4-time champ. I know you always talk about how you wanted to win a race. You just wanted to win a race. Now you're a 4-time champ and breaking that tie of world championships with the other, gods of lady racers, which that's never been a big thing for you, being a lady racer, but it's just a statement of fact. And now you have more championships in the NHRA because, Shirley does have other championships outside of the NHRA.
For sure. Definitely in great company with Shirley Muldowney and Angel, who both reached out to me. I talked to Angel at the track in Vegas, and then Shirley sent me a couple of messages. So it really means the world to me. Those are women that before they were my friends, I was a fan of. And to have my name even mentioned in the same sentence as theirs, let alone being able to surpass the number of championships that they have collected, it's kind of just surreal. And I've, like you said, never really been one to dwell on the female aspect of it, but it is an interesting fact, and it is what it is, right? You play the cards that you're dealt, but I didn't set out to be the best female driver. I want to be the best pro stock driver, period. And we have a long way to go to accomplish that goal. I think my boy Bob Glidden's on top with 10 world championships. So that's a far cry from 4, but I'm really enjoying my time in elite motorsports. I absolutely love driving a pro stock car. There's a lot of things that come with it that I'm not exactly fond of, but when I climb the car and you shut the door, like, that is my most favorite time in my entire life.
That's awesome. So Courtney, who is out there and obviously very helpful to you and has been helpful to this show and all that stuff, she says, prop your phone up on something, E. I'm not there to hold it for you. LOL. Oh. So that's what she said.
I don't have anything. I'm sorry there, film monster.
Chase is laughing at Courtney now, and this is the kind of stuff that goes on in the comment section of WFO radio. Like, this is great. I wouldn't have it any other way than you being yelled at by Courtney, and Chase is laughing at Courtney. And isn't that kind of just a microcosm of the team, and you operate at a very high level while all this is going on?
Yes, they take every opportunity they can to make fun of me. I'm not exactly tech savvy. I'm holding my phone in front of my face right now. I'm sure Courtney's telling me that because all my chins are showing, but whatever. I mean, we're at the race shop, so what's it matter?
That's great. Well, I like your room there with those Richard Shute collages up in the background. Those things are
That's cool.
They are. Well, that's the thing about Shute. He does amazing stuff. Look at that. That's a nice office. That's like a champion office right there. I like that. So
I
let's
put my
talk.
trophy in the background.
What do you think of that trophy? New look trophy. The Camping World Wally is pretty special. I like it.
It is. Tom Pastis did an amazing job. He's super talented, so I like it a lot. Definitely. I can't wait to get my duplicate so I can have one in my house.
We've got our own top Patsis back there for our WFO Radio Fantasy League, where people get their names on the trophy. The guy is insane, and the trophies are going to outlast us by a long time. Like, those trophies will be around for aliens to discover in like 1,000 years. He makes them so good. So I'm thinking about the people who retired at the end of this year. I'm thinking about the people you raced. And so I just kind of jotted down all the races. So in Arizona, it was Bo who was your victim, and Bo is now stepping away. So we're losing Bo. That's a bit of a bummer. And then at the E3 Indy race, you lost to Jeg at the semis. You guys had identical lights. So there's Jeg, people you lost to on the year. Here's the list. And maybe I'm wrong. Jason, Jeg, Troy, Hartford. That's it. Like, that's pretty crazy. And Jason and Jeg are hanging it up. So Pro Stock is going to change next year a lot, but you're still going to be there. And you mentioned the number that Bob Glidden has. You'd have to double your total +2, which is crazy in this modern era. He raced in a different circumstance. But to think that you have as many world championships as Greg, like, that's insane, given the competition that is out there and the fact that you've done it back to back twice. Those are fun little facts. They don't necessarily mean anything, but they're fun little facts. She's answering a call right there. When the people call and text, etc. Daryl out there, I like the rings. Sean says, who are your teammates going to be? These are all questions that we can ask her when she comes back in. Yeah, Tom is the man. Tom Patsis. That's our Tom Patsis trophy right there. And when you join our WFO Radio Fantasy League, and you win, you get your name on the trophy. And this year's winner is named Hockey Kid. And he's a good guy. Hey, there we go. We got you.
Sorry.
Oh, I am happy that you are on the show with me. Little technical issues are not a problem. So, 4th thou red light to Troy at the Dodge Indy Nationals. That had to bother you because here he is, the next gen kid, tough run. He got you at the World Door Slammer Nationals in his first ever anything, and then gets you again. It's not really meaningful other than because you're the champ, but we are excited about the future of Pro Stock. You're going to be like a leader in this category, the face of the class as champion. So as the face of the class, what do you think about the future with these guys that are coming up?
I'm really excited about it. And 2 of them are in our camp, Aaron Stanfield and Troy Coughlin Jr. These guys both are total students of the game. Both have fathers who raced in Pro Stock successfully and in other classes, obviously. Aaron had a dream weekend in Houston. It was really awesome to watch, and I'm thankful that it all came together for him on that weekend because we've had weekends like that before. In Las Vegas, for instance, with the K&N Challenge and then winning the race and stuff like that. But to be able to watch him win the event in factory shootout, win the world championship in his factory shootout car, and then win his first ever Pro Stock race at a track that's very close to his home in Louisiana. It was so cool to watch. It really was. And I'm proud of him. And he's come a long way. Like, he never struggled in the car, and neither has TJ. There have been other drivers that I've had a hand in helping that it takes them a little longer, but you think about the number of runs that those 2 kids have watched in their lifetime, watching their fathers race, and not just Troy Sr., but then TJ watching his uncle Jeg, and just having 2 amazing teachers like that, and then Aaron having Greg Stanfield as his coach. It's not surprising at all that they did not struggle. I mean, TJ came to the first test session in Bradenton, and he got in the car. He was testing Jeg's car, and you would have thought Jeg Coughlin was in it. I mean, the way he was nailing his burnouts, he was staging shallow. he had complete control of the car. And I could go on and on about both of these kids, but they are awesome. And I definitely think that they have the potential not to just continue to win races, but to win world championships in pro stock as well. So I'm really proud of them. I'm proud to have them on our Elite Motorsports team. And, now I'm like the old washed up person, and we got these two young kids and Alex Laughlin. I'm like the oldest chick on the team, and it's kind of crazy, but I've had a lot of fun being a small part of what they're doing. So I'm excited about it.
Aaron was on, and that's in our archive, folks, if you want to see the future of pro stock personified, Aaron Stanfield. And I put him on the spot because he's got such great experience for a young man. I was like, all right, who do you think is the GOAT? The person that, and he said that you're the best driver that there's ever been. And he listed a bunch of reasons that are beyond my genuine understanding because I've never done what you guys do. But he said flat out that just the way you talk about it, speaking of being a student of the game, the like granular level which you attack things like you've shared with us with your clutch pedal on the show. So I think that's pretty cool. And I spoke with Courtney a little bit earlier. Obviously, the U.S. Nationals win over Hartford, defining another multiple Indy wins. That was tough. But then to come back at the Midwest Nationals, and that's where you're making hay. Jeg loses early, and you got to get it done. And you did. To me, that says a lot to be able to get the job done when the pressure is on. So tell me about those rounds at the end of the year. You're going up against the natural, going up against Jason. The points are tight. They're both going to hang it up. They want it so bad because who doesn't want to walk out a winner? And you've got to take advantage. So take me through some of those big moments down the stretch. I know there was a run against there was a final round against Jason there. You ran Greg, who had a whole shot victory against Greg at the Midwest Nationals in St. Louis. That really was where things turned.
Yeah, it definitely was. And I shared it in my top end interview, but my sister in 2019, we were in St. Louis and we were still winless on the year at that point. And right before first round, she's like always the last person in my door before I fire the car. And she's like, this is where it all changes. And we joke about her being my hype girl or whatever, but she really helps with the mental side of things because I touch on it occasionally, but I've struggled. And my reaction times are the first thing that you can look at, but just being positive. We're big positive mental attitude people. My dad used to teach seminars on it, so we were fortunate enough to have that background, but I kind of got away from being super positive for whatever reason. I have no idea, and kind of got in my own head where my sister like totally helped me with that. So I'm super thankful for that. So going back to 19 in St. Louis, she says, this is where it all changes. And I just listened to her. She's my little sister, but she takes care of me. And that is absolutely where it changed. We won the St. Louis event in 2019. 2020 was a little bit different with the rain and then the track conditions that we had, and we had to cancel the event and push it to Dallas. And then I wish you could have seen the string of text messages that went on between all of the pro stock competitors and Ned Walliser and Josh Peterson, and just trying to figure out the most fair way to complete the St. Louis event in Dallas. And what we came up with, or what they came up with, was right off the trailer. That's gonna be the completion of the last two cars that had to run second round. And so to tell you that I wasn't nervous, I would be lying, because you have 0 shots at the tree, you have no shots at the racetrack. We're running at a little bit different time than normally. We're a few weeks off data wise. So going into eliminations to complete the St. Louis event was very nerve-wracking. And I just went back through my data from years past at Dallas and tried to set up my clutch pedal accordingly, and went up there trying to be conservative enough to not go red, but be good enough to get the round win. It just was really hard balance, and my crew chiefs had to do the same thing. So super long story to your question, but St. Louis in Dallas was super stressful and super crazy, but like always, my guys rise to the occasion. When our backs are against the wall and everything matters, they perform every time, and they continue to impress me every time that they do so. And then having to run the final round against Jason in the pitch dark, the trees completely completely dark. You got to set up accordingly to that. And we knew that we were probably going to get outrun by those KB guys. So I just was like, I have to go up there and rip his throat out, but I can't be red. And fortunately it fell our way, but that was a huge step in the right direction. And we weren't able to capitalize on that small points lead the following day for the Dallas National event, but we did go some rounds, and it was crazy to have to run 2 events in the same weekend.
Well, I remember, and I wanted to be at those races, obviously, because of, COVID world, things were jumbled up, and I was watching on NHRA.com, but I felt the drama of that final round in the darkness. And, you got to take the best out of what you've got. And I remember thinking, like, this is real drama. You got Erica, you got Jason. It's dark. If it looks dark on camera, it's got to be pitch black in reality, because cameras always make things seem a little lighter than they are. And to me, that was as cool as it gets. It made me really want darkness Saturday night final rounds at some event somewhere in the future, because I just really felt the intensity. Hartford goes on to win the Dallas race, and then it's a second round against Jeg, red light. What are you going to do? Happens if you're trying. And then you go to Vegas and you cap it off with a win. And what's better than that, right? You win the championship, you keep the edge, which is very hard to do. Like, we won the championship, and you go on and win the event and close out the season. 4 victories on the season in Vegas. And just tell me about that as we look at some of these photos.
So touching on Houston, I love Vegas. It's always perfect for like the best sunsets ever. That's my sister's awesome camera work. But in Houston, watching Jason lose first round to Chris McGaha, and then running back and getting in my car and seeing what happened, and knowing just how loaded that first round was going to be, and you could definitely spread the gap. You touched on me going red against TJ or Jeg, I don't remember which one. And we've never done anything in easy fashion. Like, if we could have just gone on to win the Houston event, which we had a really great car and I was driving pretty well, we could have spread the gap, but that's just not how it works for me ever, for our team or anything. So Jeg went on to the finals and closed the gap. Him and Jason were tied going into Las Vegas, and I just had a 55-point lead. Then they told us Vegas was going to be 1.5 points. So you're like, oh my God, this is going to be so stressful. And it was, and it was crazy. And we came off the trailer and our performance was poor at best. And we could not figure out what was going on with our hot rod. We're like, of course, everybody says, oh, well, it must be the horsepower. It's the motor. We got to change the motor. Well, you don't want to go into Sunday with a fresh motor that has no runs on it. And you just kind of set yourself up for something to go wrong. So when first round happened, I'm going to tell you this crazy little story. We were up beside the tower, and I was getting suited up in my car. Jeg Coughlin was first out against Aaron Stanfield because they qualified 8 and 9. So I was getting suited up. My sister was in my door, and I can't see the racetrack at that point, but I'm just listening to the PA, and I hear Reinhardt like yelling that, or maybe it was Loans, that Aaron Stanfield just beat Jeg Coughlin on a hole shot first round. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I start to like, not freak out, but just like, oh my gosh, my heart was beating fast. And in the race car, you want to be as calm as possible. So I'm like trying to keep my composure. My sister's like, this is fixing to happen right now. And I'm like, there's no freaking way this is going to happen right now. And so we go up. I had my teammate, Alex Laughlin, unfortunately, first round. I think I had him by 3.5 on the tree, and we went on to win that round. And I'm standing up there watching the television with Amanda and the Fox guys, waiting to see what happens with Jason Line and Quadra. And I'm just like watching the tree. I always watch the stage bulbs because that's kind of the cheating way of telling who leaves first. And I see the bulbs drop, and I'm like, oh my God, he crushed him on the tree. And so like I put my hands on my head, and you see in the video I look like a fool, but I was like, oh my God. And then when he crossed the finish line first, I couldn't believe it, because nothing ever happens that way for us. It always comes down to the wire. It's always max pressure. My guys always perform, and it was crazy to be able to lock the championship up. I hated that it happened the way that it did for both Jason and Jeg, because they're badass competitors and really great people, and to have their season and their career and the way that it did there, it by no means tells the story of what happened to them, but to go out the way that they did, I hated it for them. Almost made me sad, as I was happy that we won the championship, because I did want it to come down to the wire, because it's how it's always been with those guys. And so my heart kind of went out to them. But thankfully, we secured the championship after the first round. And while we were doing the interviews and stuff, my guys took the car back, and I got back to the pit, and they're like, we're swinging engines. So as soon as I got back from the championship deal, like, I hopped in and we pulled the motor out, put another motor in, and my guys were able to like really get after it the rest of the day, because I feel like I have a friend that always tells me, you don't race to not lose. You race to win. It's a different mentality. And I feel like first round, we were trying not to lose instead of racing to win. And that's not something that we typically do. So we were trying to protect it in a sense. And when that pressure was off of our backs, like, man, it was like the biggest load off of my shoulders. And I'm sure my crew chiefs felt the same way. So going on through the rest of the day, it was kind of crazy. And we had to get a handle on the motor and the tune-up that second round. And then when we had Greg Anderson in the semifinals, like, he had us by 500ths of a second. Like, that, you might as well just park your crap at the trailer and not even go up there, because that's what I felt like. It was like David and Goliath. And, you know, but we've never raced scared. We're certainly not afraid of them. And they know what we're capable of, while we know what they're capable of also. They're tremendous competitors. So going up there for the semifinal round, I just was like, I have to rip his throat out. My guys are going to give me the best car that they can, but they are outperforming us hands down this weekend. So we went up there, and I think that was like the race win for us, was being able to beat Greg Anderson when he had the better car by a ton. So that was really exciting. And then to go on in the finals and race Koretsky, he's doing a really awesome job as well. So I was just happy. And for some reason, Las Vegas loves us, and we're able to do really well there. And I'm so thankful, because like I said, on Saturday night, I was like, there's no way. I don't even think we're getting out of the first round tomorrow. And we won the championship, and we won the race. So that just goes to show you that you don't race on paper, and you just keep believing and keep trying.
No, that's awesome. It's exciting to hear you think about it. And you mentioned there was a celebration. You and Courtney going crazy. And, you know, they're speaking of great photography, the sisters going at it again. And that's just fantastic. Some big moments as the champion in front of the crowd, limited crowd, but still, it was cool to have people there and see people there. And last week we spoke with Angie Smith, and she said that you guys had a thing that you always talked about, like trying to get it done on the same weekend, and that it had never happened, and that she was blaming herself, and that you guys were able to get that one in. And there was just, all kinds of fun stuff going on around this championship and this win. And it's just so awesome for you. Congratulations.
Thank you. It was cool. It was really neat, because Angie ran right in front of us on her Pro Stock bike, and then Pro Stock followed them. So I was able to see her win light come on. I want to tell you something about her. She's amazing. Like, she not only has like the best heart, but that girl works her tail off, and she puts up with some crap, and she just takes it with grace, really. And she did a dang good job. And I was so thrilled to see her win. And we talked about a minute ago, like controlling your heart rate and being calm in the car and being focused. So I watched Angie win, and I'm like jumping up and down in the car and screaming like, oh my God. So now I got to win, right? So we can share the winner circle together. And we were able to do that. And she was the first one in my car. I really enjoyed watching the Fox footage of that. She was jumping up and down and ducked in my car, and we were able to celebrate a little bit together. But her and I have talked about this for quite some time, and it was a real honor to be able to share the winner circle with her. And then, of course, the championship with her husband, Matt, as well, because we helped them with their engine stuff a little bit. And Mark Stockseth is on both of our teams as well as a sponsor. So we're essentially teammates, but she's a great girl, and she worked her tail off. So I was really excited to see her get that done.
That is awesome. All right, we got some comments stacking up out there that people want to say things to Erica, which I think is pretty cool and interesting stuff all around. Like, let's see, Rick and Barstow says, congratulations on the championship. Do you see yourself continuing in comp which that has been kind of fun. Really enjoyed watching you there, or getting back into Pro Mod. What about that? The comp, the Pro Mod, what about it?
Well, honestly, I work for Richard, so I don't really know what I'm doing half of the time. He just kind of tells us. And like we race Noble before the end of the year here in Oklahoma. It's like 20 minutes from our shop. And 2 days prior to it, I didn't even know we were racing. So it's just kind of one of those deals that we go when we want to, or when there's not something more fun to do. So the comp car has been enjoyable for me. I'm really thankful to Lee Sharp and the guys that help on that hot rod. I have full on pro stock operation on my comp car, and it's literally the fastest car in the world. We reset the world record in Houston. We qualify on the pole or second. Richard and I went to Noble. Richard was on the pole. He got me by 1 or 2 thousandths. I was number 2. And then the driver sucks because it's a full tree and you have to leave on the bottom bulb. And it's like so much different. Use the blinder. Don't use the blinder. Oh, it's dark. You're going to see a glare. I'm like, holy crap. Y'all make this so dang hard. And I look awful in that car. But I am getting better. We tested after the Noble race was over, and I was able to have a bunch of lights in the 30s. So that that gives me a little hope that I'm not completely sucky at bottom bulb racing. To touch on the Pro Mod stuff, Justin Elks and the guys in North Carolina, they kind of house all of our cars up there. Alex drove the new Pro Charger car this year. We are talking with another guy who hopefully they do this deal. He's in the radio world, and he's hoping to come over and race NHRA Pro Mod, which will be really exciting. And if Richard allows me, I would love to get back in the Pro Mod car. I mean, I don't like super love it like I love Pro Stock, because Pro Stock is so challenging from a driver's standpoint, where Pro Mod is more like try not to crash and die or burn or anything like that. So it's a little.
You did. You had that experience out there. That'll catch your attention. It does all the time, and it is. They're just a different kind of racing. It's a different style.
Yeah. It's a short wheelbase suspended race car with close to 4,000 horsepower, and you're just trying to manage the horsepower. You can't even use all that you have. We're in Pro Stock. We're just like, if we could have 2 more horsepower, we'd be kicking ass. But Pro Mod is definitely different. I am not afraid of it. I do enjoy racing it. It's a lot of fun. It's definitely more challenging than we thought, but it's cool. I really did enjoy it. And I also enjoyed being on the safety side of things after our season-ending fire in Norwalk last year. I was able to help make some changes, and a lot of people complained about it, but I don't really care. I don't have time for that crap. Do you want to make, if you were putting your wife or your daughter in the car, wouldn't you want it to be as safe as possible? And all of the rule changes that have happened in the past come from somebody having an incident. So I was really thankful to be with Rick Jones and NHRA's tech department to try and make the car safer, so that maybe the next person down the line who's ignorant like me and just wants to race and doesn't really think about all that stuff, now it's a rule and you have to have it taken care of, and hopefully what happened to us in Norwalk doesn't happen to anybody else. So that was kind of my goal there, and I was excited to be on that end of it, and I will damn sure get back in the car if Richard lets me.
I love that. I love that idea. And, safety, it's always a pain in the butt until you need it. And then all of a sudden you really want to have it. So speaking of RJ race cars, though, Tony Quinn out there, congratulations, Erica. Thank you for taking the time with Jameson at Indy. You have made us all proud back at RJ. Perfect example there. Let's see.
Those guys are amazing. They build the best race cars ever.
Look who else is out there. Hey, Erica. I love you. It's your mom. Your mom's a WFO listener, by the way. Whenever Courtney's on here for happy hour,
I know.
She's always out there, which is great. I love that. We've got such a VIP audience. Let's see. Erica, when are you going to put out shirts that say, drive that bitch back? I can say it, Rich. I think you have them already, don't you? I don't know if she hears me. What about T-shirts that say that?
Sorry, it's cutting out a little bit. Yes, they're available on nitrofishracing.com. If they're not up yet, they will be. Courtney and Wes and the people at Kingsridge Media have been revamping Randy Lynn and Bo's website, and they're trying to get all of that new merchandise up pretty quickly, and as well as our new 4X gear. We were trying to have all of that stuff out before Christmas. So just keep checking, and if they're obviously on social media. As soon as things are up, I will definitely be sharing the links to our new Forex gear and the Drive the Bitch back shirts and all of the fun stuff. So we'll let you know.
Your dad's out there too. Your mom and your dad, everybody. It's like the whole Enders family. And we got a huge audience for this, just so you know. I don't know if you know this. I've known this for a while, but just on my show, you are the biggest draw we have had the past couple of times you have been on by a lot. So either Erica moves the needle or Erica's machine, i.e. Erica and Courtney, move the needle, because
Courtney.
people want to see, they want to see what you have to say on there. And I think it is great. I think it's awesome. Couple other questions. Let's see, or comments. My 4-year-old daughter loves you. She just won her first track championship in her Power Wheels drag racing, Central Ohio Power Wheels drag racing, says Mel. And you're still the next generation of young ladies and racers too. Because I know, little boys that are like, Erica Enders is the best. And you've really achieved what you wanted to achieve, which is gender does not matter. Who's the best racer who cuts down the tree and turns on the wind light? It's Erica. I want to be like her. And you're getting to that point, which is great. And you mentioned safety. I wonder, have you noticed, or do you feel the leadership position in the category? Like, are you starting to feel that? Like, this is your category. You're a 4-time champ. There's nobody out there with more championships than you. And people are going to look at you that way. And you do have your opinions matter. And so you can affect the way things go with them.
Well, thanks, Joe. It's kind of surreal for me. I don't know if I'm a leader. I feel like, with KB and with Elite Motorsports, we have certainly not just saved the class, but helped it to flourish into having 20, 22, 24 cars at certain events, especially considering the pandemic and the craziness in the world. But yeah, it's kind of nuts to me that I just completed my 16th year of racing pro stock, and I don't feel that old, and I hope I don't look that old, but it's crazy how fast the time goes by. It seems like yesterday that we were rolling around the corner in 2005 in Pomona, and I remember exactly what that felt like when you pull through that gate and turn the corner and there's TV cameras. You go from being a sportsman racer to a full-blown pro stock driver in a matter of a half of a season, and the stands are packed and there's TV cameras and there's crowded people everywhere on the starting line. And I just remember like my heart rate and breathing, and I was like so dang nervous. And from that point to where we are now, it's been a really long road. The first 7 years that I raced were winless. After that, or before that, racing cars that I knew we didn't have a chance to qualify, but it was just seat time and keeping your name and your face out there and attracting sponsors and being able to move up the ladder. And so many people made that possible, but it's been a very long journey, and not always sunshine and rainbows, but it's made me stronger. It's made me tougher. I think it's made me a little crazy at times, but it's been a dream come true, really. And to see what we've accomplished since I moved here to Elite Motorsports in 2014. We've won 4 championships in a matter of not very many years, 6 years. So it's been a lot of fun. And if you take the Dodge year out of there, because we didn't even qualify at some of the events, but just a crazy road. And I'm really, really thankful for the journey, because if it was always easy or fun, it wouldn't make you what you are. So I'm thankful for it.
I love that attitude, but I think you are a leader. I think it happens it's not even a choice, really. Like, whether you want to or not. Now that Jason is moving on, obviously Greg is still going to be there. Jeg, whatever he ends up doing, because, those of us who have seen Jeg retire a couple of times in the past know that he loves this, and he's going to do some other stuff for a while. But I wouldn't be surprised if we see him every once in a while for big races. But you win 4 championships. It comes with the territory. People, they want to know what you think. And it happens in every other sport. Like, when you win 1, okay, you won 1. That can happen. When you win 2 back-to-back, you had a couple of great years. But then you do it again, you put 4 on the board. Now you're elite, literally, with Elite Motorsports. But you're an elite person, and your experience matters. And you've been down that road. So I'm excited to see what happens with that. My question then is, what lies ahead for you? You already mentioned comp, but pro stock next year, defend the title, who's back, obviously, and NHRA needs you to do well. Camping World Drag Racing, we just got this brand new sponsor, Marcus Lemonis, on board, all these new people. I think it's going to be super exciting. Hopefully you're able to hear me as I say all this great stuff. And what do you think about that as we go into this new era? Like, you're the first Camping World Drag Racing champion, but it was kind of a half a season. We've got, hopefully fans will be back as big a percentage as we can next year. And all this unfortunate pandemic is in the rearview mirror. We could get a real season. Look ahead to next year for me.
So I kind of lost you there until the Camping World Championship. So I'll just pick up there and say that we're thankful to Camping World for stepping up to the plate when things went a little bit haywire. But like I mentioned, when we won the championship in Vegas, we really have to thank Mellow Yellow and Coca-Cola for what they've done for our sport over the past, decade or so. And they've been amazing. So I'm excited for what's to come with Camping World. I think that NHRA and our entire group have a lot of work to do to build everything back up to what it was. I'm so excited to be able to, hopefully, when 2021 rolls around, to have full crowds again. That the energy that comes off of a crowd is unbelievable. And I know Vegas sold out for the percentage that we were allowed to have there, but it was very packed in the pits. The stands looked a little scarce, but the fans were awesome, and you could tell that they all wanted to be there. So I'm excited for what's to come. I think that, right now, for instance, the guys are back in the engine shop working on things. So we're not taking off. We're not going on vacation. We're not skipping a beat. Like, we clearly have some work to do to keep up with the KB guys. As I mentioned, Greg outrunning us by 500ths in Las Vegas. So we'll stay on top of our game and go to work all off season and see what happens for next year. But I feel like we just keep all the balls bouncing. We'll be fine.
That's it. Simple as that. All right. One final question, then we'll let you go. Jeff wants to know, he wants to get his pro stock license. What is your advice, as a driver advice to a guy who wants to get his pro stock license? And he races out in Bandamere, and he goes pretty quick. And so many sportsman racers, Lucas Oil Series racers, ET racers, they don't dream necessarily of being a funny car driver. They dream of pro stock. So what's your advice?
Well, you picked the right class, in my opinion. I love pro stock. It's definitely a driver's class. It's definitely the most challenging car I've ever driven. I got my license in an alcohol funny car prior to racing pro stock and have driven a lot of other sportsman classes. But pro stock is no joke. So I would definitely, my advice would be to make sure that that's the route that you want to go. It is the most affordable that it has ever been in my 16 years being around the sport or in pro stock. So I feel like you're definitely coming in at a great time. My advice would be to, from the start, try your best to do it right. Like, get with the right group of people. There's a couple of teams out there that will teach new drivers and take you testing, our team being one of them. I'm not saying you have to go with us, but if you do, it comes with a plethora of knowledge and the best equipment that money can buy. So it would definitely be starting differently.
And a fun, crazy bunch of people, which is part of the experience. Like, you got to have fun along this road. Otherwise, the competition is great and winning races, I'm sure, is amazing, but you guys make it fun.
We do. And that's something that's so unique to our group. And what's really cool about it is you can't buy it. And I think that's why it's so coveted. So I'm proud to be associated with this group. I had a lot of fun racing for other teams, but it never just gelled, and the chemistry wasn't there like it is here. When I first came to race at Elite Motorsports in 2014, we tested in Phoenix right before the Pomona race. It was our first time to work together, and it started off crazy. We heard a bunch of motors, and then we went on to win the championship our first year together for $1 million less than what I was paying at the last team. So wow. It just goes to show you that with the right group of people, anything is possible. And we run on a budget here, and we have really great equipment, and the best people in the world, but we run on a budget, and it can be done for an affordable price. And there are all kinds of different options. So if he's interested, give me a call.
There it is. Just like that. Let's see what Courtney has to say. These are the greatest memories we could ever make. They absolutely are. Yeah. Isn't that great? No, you guys have been awesome these past couple of years. You've dominated the category, winning 2 back-to-back, but you've never won 3 in a row. You've You know, you've never won 3 in a row. You got a shot to do that. It's really hard to get to that position because you got to win 2 in a row first. And who does that? Nobody. So you guys got a shot. I'm sure you're going to be very focused going into next year.
We definitely will, and it's a tall order for sure as the competition is stout. But I'm definitely excited for the opportunity if that's what presents itself. I mean, we definitely have a lot of work to do. I really, like I said, I love driving. That's the part of everything that I love the most, obviously. And, to be in the company that we're in now with 4 championships, I mean, Greg Anderson is a crazy awesome competitor. We're rivals, yes. I'm sure there are days that he hates me and I'm not extremely fond of him. But at the end of the day, we give each other the best that we have every time we line up. And to have as many championships as he does, it means a lot to me because they totally dominated pro stock for a lot of years. Him winning 4, Jason winning 3. Then I think the only people above that are Jake Coughlin with 5, Lee Shepard, Warren Johnson with 6, and Glidden with 10. So it's crazy to think that I had hoped, but I don't think I ever thought it would come to fruition. And it's awesome to be living that dream.
Well, it is. And I can tell that you shouldn't think of this as like the end. You should think of it as the middle, because you've got a lot of opportunity out there for the next couple of years to just get after it, because you're driving great. You got a great team and everybody loves what they're doing and everybody loves watching it. And I think that you've got a really good chance to bring a lot of eyes and attention to pro stock with this run. People pay attention when domination happens. Like, wow, that's happening. Let me watch. Let me wonder. Let me see what happens. Let me see who stops her if somebody can. And I know there's a lot of people gunning to be the one to stop you guys. And that's what's going to make it entertaining for all of us. Erica, thank you for devoting, 45 minutes to this. I really appreciate it. This championship was very fun. I'm happy that we were able to get it done. And you weren't just like a 2-race champion. We got a season in, but even when we broke for COVID, you were the points leader. You brought it home. You won Indy. You won the championship. You did it all. You were on WFO Radio podcast many times. I really appreciate that. Probably the most of all of it. And I just want to say thank you. So thank you so much.
Well, thank you, Joe. I always enjoy coming on your show and really enjoy your friendship as well. I know Courtney. Yeah. It means a lot to Court as well. So she's amazing. I want to give her another shout out. I couldn't do any of this without her, obviously. And she provides such awesome coverage for our fans on social media with pictures and videos. And it means a lot to have all of that chronicled and to be able to look back at it. I couldn't sleep last night. I was watching videos of race wins on my phone because it's going to be a long 5 months before we head to Gainesville. But it'll be great. I'm looking forward to the off season, spending a lot of time in Texas and enjoying the holidays with my family and friends. So I hope everybody does the same.
You should tell Courtney to get you one of these for Christmas.
What is that?
Holds your phone. You don't have to hold it anymore.
Yeah, my shoulder is like dying.
I can tell you're getting a workout for your deltoids or whatever holds your arm up. But look at that, Courtney. Get her one of these, Courtney. Okay, this is your Christmas gift for this year. Maybe not. You're shooting a little bit low. Erica, thank you very much. Just awesome. Love watching you guys do well. Love what you bring to the table. You're great for the sport, and you're a whole lot of fun doing it. Enjoy your winter break, whatever you guys end up doing. And yes, I appreciate your friendship as well. It has been so much more fun to go to the workplace when the workplace is a place where the friends are. So thank you for that.
Exactly. Well, thank you, Joe. All
right, Erica. Take care. Erica Enders with here on WFO. There she goes. Erica, how great was that? Thank you all for watching. And we really appreciate the fact that Erica and Courtney and all the folks at Elite and really the whole pro stock category in general shares their stories here on WFO Radio podcast and this live stream. If you've never heard the podcast, we encourage you to subscribe. It's really just this audio with some extras like our Ignition show. And all of you people out there who have supported WFO Radio over the years, like the page, follow us on social, share these interviews. Put them on your page. Let's see what Courtney says. Santa will send it. Yeah, this is one. First of all, you may notice that I'm not using it, right? I'm not using it, but in case I have to use it, look, it turns, it does things, it holds it. And this thing, they got me really good for it. I think it was like $19, but I highly recommend it to all. This is Joe Castello media tip to all racers, to anybody. Get one of these. And then you don't ever have to hold your phone. But that was just awesome. Wasn't it, Jeff? Awesome. All right, put your comments in the comment section. Anybody with a final comment? What's your thoughts about Erica next year? Who's going to be her big rival? All of that stuff. Put it in the comment section. I'm going to go through all of it before we wrap up the show. And yes, this is the final show of the week. Did have a happy hour simmering. Donnie Couch is going to be on happy hour at some point, but it just didn't work out this week. So this is going to be the final show of the week. I do not have alcoholic beverage. I should be ready, but this is happy hour right now. So get your comments in the comment section while I tell everybody a couple of things. Like, number one important thing. Obviously, you see what's going on in the news. WFO Radio face coverings are available. If you want one, they're just $10. I'll throw some WFO Radio stickers in. I will cover the shipping. Go to WFOradio.com. You can pay with PayPal, pay with a credit card. And, you got to have one. So you might as well have a WFO one and help me promote my little show that Erica loves so much. Appreciate that if you do it. Also on the website, you can find out how to get free stickers where you don't even have to pay anything. Just send a self-addressed stamped envelope. Appreciate that. Marvin Rodak, who's out there in the comments section. This guy roasts coffee, hot sauce, spice rub, everything good. I've been telling everybody, use this as your Christmas gift. Use this. It is a great gift. I've gotten such great feedback from the people that I send it to, because not only do they get this whole extra sensory experience with the aroma and the coffee and the enjoying, but then it also lasts a while. You get them a bag of coffee, it's going to last them a while, and they're going to think about you every single day. It's a great experience. Go to rodaxcoffeeandgrills.com, 817-924-6821. Samtech.edu, the School of Automotive Machinists and Technology, slightly less giftable, but if you've got a kid that is loving cars and wants to make a career of it, machining, motorsport, EFI tuning, I could see it working. Go to samtech.edu, go to their website, check them out, call them, tell them you heard about it on WFOradio.com. And Judd Massengill, who is a recent guest on the Hidden Horsepower Total Seal podcast, says, call him and they can set up a tour of the campus and you can see exactly what you're learning. And they describe a situation where students are staying up through the night working on stock eliminator cars. Like, if you love drag racing and motorsports, what's better than that? Frank Hawley's Drag Racing School, speaking of gifts, Dragster Adventure courses start at $399, a bargain at twice the price to hang out with Frank Hawley all day long and drive dragsters and do burnouts. And they can even set up the Dragster Adventure Challenge so you and your squad can race against each other and you can have the bragging rights against them. Definitely a great gift idea, especially for your sales guys or your employees or your best clients. FrankHawley.com. Check them out. Erica mentions Nitro Fish. Not only can you get the Erica Enders champion gear at Nitro Fish Racing, but you can get the WFO Radio 10th anniversary t-shirts, our shirts, and the Erica shirts. And if you use this promo code WFO20, thanks to Randy Lynn Ship and Bo Butner, you're saving 20%. Which is just awesome. WFO20 at nitrofishracing.com. We really appreciate that. Jeg and Jason and Bo have all decided to hang it up at the end of this year. And Erica ran Bo in the final round of Arizona. She lost to Jason in the semis and Pomona. She lost to Jeg twice. It's going to be wide open in pro stock next year. And you're going to have Kid Chaos and Troy Coughlin Jr. and Aaron Stanfield and all kinds of people coming in. And the water is fine. I fully expect next year to be a breakout year because everyone's got to pick new drivers and new fans to follow. Like who are you going to root for? You Erica fans, you're rooting for E to go out and win another championship. But if you're a fan of Jason Line, are you rooting for Greg? Maybe or maybe not. Maybe you're going to move over to Kid Chaos. Who knows who you're going to pick? Maybe everyone's going to root for Hartford. We just don't know. All right, let's read these comments and see what everybody says, and then let's get on out of here. Let me scroll back and see. All right, this one I remember from John Ripley from the home of Melling. And thank you, Melling, guys, for supporting Erica. One of the questions I've always had, like Erica's a hardcore racer and has done well and won in just about everything. I would love to see her attached to a non-endemic, some sort of, any kind of product you can buy in the store so I can go support Erica. But without companies like Melling, this whole Erica Enders experience may not have happened. So thank you to those guys. Best schedule the Truck Series has ever had. This one coming, I guess. Talking about Camping World, I guess. Starting in Daytona, coming to Homestead. Let's see, Sean, you're a great person. Thanks to meet you, it says to Erica. Let's see, keep up the great driving. Some late comments coming in. Thank you, Courtney, says Abby. What's up? Jeff says, we need EE on happy hour. Listen, I'm looking for happy hour guests for the off season. The winter break, WFO doesn't stop. We keep this going on. And anytime I can drink and talk, that is good. All right, now we're caught up. Awesome work this year. Awesomeness. Let's see, Sean, great person, great racer, great show as usual. Thank you, Joe. No, thank you, Monica, for always helping and listening to our Ignition podcast, which I think is the best work that we do. Max, how is she not married yet and always enjoy watching her race? Well, she was married, Max, okay, as was I, and a lot of us out there, Max. A lot of us, doesn't always. Anyway, let's see, Sharon. Erica is the best pro stock driver in years. This is Larry Lombardo, one-time world champion. Thank you, Larry, using the Mrs. Facebook, huh? Now's your chance, Larry, to go post some stuff. No, I know Larry Lombardo. Thank you, Joe. Thank you, Sean. Let's see what else. My first time watching. Really? Well, make appointment. Like our page. Get notifications. We do all kinds of great stuff. Just yesterday, we had Stock Eliminator World Champion Jody Lang. We're not just Camping World Drag Racing. We're Lucas Oil Drag Racing as well. Christy says, tell Erica that the Pro Mod proposer said that she is awesome. I'm in my deer stand right now. I will forward that information, or maybe she'll watch back. Courtney, great show, Joe. Thank you, Courtney. Thank you so much. Sending the photographs. Courtney has become a great friend this year and last year. Like, we've gotten close. And I love what happens over there. They do it with passion. They love the sport. They care about it. Drag racing is still relatively small, guys. It's still a relatively small sport. And we need to work hard together to grow it. That's it. Let's see. Can't wait till you talk to back-to-back Pro Mod champ. Yeah, Stevie Fast. Would love to get Stevie on the show. Listen, we have until March, people. We're going to stretch it out. Bobby Graham. Good show, Joe. Thank you, Bobby. Tom Beer. Congratulations, Erica. Yes. Sean, Erica's a great person, great racer. Want to say congratulations on the 4th championship. Yes. Scott Bell. Congratulations, Erica. Great show from north of the border. Oh, we missed our Canadian racers this year and all our fans. Sam, another great show. Thank you, Sam. Appreciate it. Good job. Ken, keep up the good work. Great show and work. Thank you very much, Ken. Thank you for weighing in. And all of you, we have a WFO radio group. Erica brings a huge audience. So, hey, huge audience, like our page, download our stuff, search WFO radio, buy everything we've got, and help support us. That's as quick as I could do the full pitch. The full pitch. Help. Congratulations, Erica, on your 4th championship, says AJ Hot Wheels. Thank you, AJ. Ron Kramer, nobody does red pants better than Courtney. I love the fact, like Tiger Woods on Sunday's got the outfit, and Don Schumacher's got his outfit. Courtney, you can find her on the starting line. Can see where she is. Cameras pick her up. I agree. Ricky bought my Roy Hill semi from Richard Freeman. Yeah, Ricky's going racing, baby. He bought a semi-tractor trailer that was former Roy Hill, and he got it from Richard. Sean, I follow your page. Thank you. Share it now. There's always something more. Come on. I'm trying to survive with a podcast, brother. There's always something more. Get yourself a WFO Radio face covering, Sean. Go to WFOradio.com. Send us the $10. I'll send you some stickers and one of these face coverings, and I'll have something to do in the next hour. Do it now. WFOradio.com. All right, final one. I think. No, they're coming in. They're still coming in. Another great show. Thank you very much. Bob sells parts. And Janet, love your show, Joe. Thank you, Janet. And thank you. The girls are great, as you know, but they're riding the roller coaster. They're riding the lightning right now, and they are at the top of their game. Both of them are at the top of their game. They've reached the pinnacle, and that's all you can ask: to work hard, play hard, live your life every day, and simple as that. Quick flash to the sponsors. Time to get on out of here. I really appreciate all of you folks. Our archive is loaded. The WFO Radio mobile app gives you access to everything we've got. But you can subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Spotify. In the end, I really think it's an audio show, and that way more people listen to us on our podcast feeds because they have to work, or they're driving, or they're doing something. And you can't always watch. But I like to watch. Once again, thank you to all you folks out there. Erica Enders, 4-time Camping World Drag Racing Pro Stock World Champion. Got a shout out for the president this year. Won the U.S. Nationals. But most important, the relationships she has built along the way. And someone was asking about Right on Track. I really had never watched Right on Track until this year because of Disney Plus. And everybody's got Disney Plus, and they're all getting Disney Plus, and you just type it in, and there it is, Right on Track. And you watch it, and you think that Brie Larson, who went on to be Captain Marvel, played Courtney, and Erica has now won another world championship. And these crazy kids, they just have a good time. Simple as that. Jody Lang in the archive. Alan Reinhardt in the archive. Oh, more comments coming in. Let me see if I can get them in. Have a great weekend. Oh, I'm going to. Do I have an Instagram or Twitter? Yes. WFO Joe is me, and WFO Radio. The same on Insta and Twitter. You can find us both. Janet out there. How can I get a top fan thingy by my name? You know, we'll get to the bottom of that because it gives me that option every once in a while. I thought I gave you that option. I thought you were already a top fan. A sequel, Greg, I'm working on it. I'm a part-time screenwriter. I think I got this one covered. Let's do it. There should be a Disney sequel. All right, everybody, have a great day. Enjoy your weekend and your Friday, and that's going to do it. I'm Joe Castello. We'll see you next time on WFO. Thanks, Erica.